Anderson
get over
tracks all the way back in.
It
It
is.
does. And he's locked in, but what a goal!
Inundated. So popular.
Good morning, welcome to mysportlive.tv. Here at Canley, we're watching the third and final test between Australia and New Zealand. It's one test all at the moment, so a very important test. I'm Terry Hopkins, I'm here with Chris McWhirter, and we're watching the game on court 2 between Felix and Sonia of New Zealand against Wendy Dixon and Edward Wilson of Australia. Felix ran the first hoop, a pretty very standard play. He put his blue ball in, it wasn't cleared, and so he ran it straight through to about 3/4 of the way up to the court. So welcome, Chris. Good morning to you.
And morning to you, Terry. We've got the iceberg shift again. So
Yes.
It's while Felix is having this this shot, we'll go around the grounds. Court 1 has the Australia and New Zealand 1 teams versus each other, so Robert and Alison, and versus Edmund and Helen from New Zealand. And looks like New Zealand got the first hoop on that game, so they're currently 1-0, and New Zealand got the toss there. Got the toss on the show court, and the other games are not quite on and ready to go just yet.
Yeah, we'll try and keep you updated on the scores on the other courts as well as we focus on this game on court 2. So yesterday was a great day's play. I hope everyone who was watching yesterday enjoyed it. There was some terrific croquet played yesterday. The conditions a little better than they were on Friday when the wind was really up. It's probably almost as strong as I've seen it out here at Canley at times on Friday. But yesterday the conditions were mild, other than the fact that it was absolutely freezing. So Sonia's looking for a block here on the red. Red's got an open shot at hoop 2, slight angle, and Sonia will look to block that. So she would have had the choice of clearance or block, but because Felix is over on the border, they might have felt that it was better to have an attacking ball in.
Yeah, I think that's right. You've got to get a scoring ball in there, and it's nice to have that big Felix weapon in your back pocket. He can take on a clearance when he likes.
Edwards just grazed that one, but he's pushed it off the line, so that means that red is now open to the hoop, and Felix will have to shoot. So Felix doesn't miss very many of these 7-yarders.
He should be pretty comfy with this court after having a big battle with Robert here yesterday, which was hopefully you all tuned in and saw that, or you can go back and watch the replay. And you're doing well for Australia here, Terry. That's the kiss of death again. You said Felix doesn't miss much.
Yes, if you had heard my commentary yesterday, I said Helen doesn't miss any of these hoops, and she missed one straight away. So the kiss of death was working.
So keep calling all the Kiwi shots, Terry, and you'll make Australia happy.
That game between Felix and Robert yesterday, I don't think you'd see much better croquet than some of the croquet played there yesterday. They were hitting half-court clearances consistently, which is just the difference between the very elite and the just elite.
That's a great hoop by Wendy there. You just saw on the screen, and
that's about a 3-yarder straight through. So very nice for her confidence.
And you'll notice the interplay between Wendy and Ned. They have a little tap after every hoop, and depending on what they rate the shot depends on what they do. So that was a good shot.
That was a good shot. Not a great shot.
So just keeping it all a bit level here early on a very important day.
Yeah, it's important to stay balanced, and that's one of the ways that they stay calm and don't get too excited. So it's good. Youthful exuberance, nice addition to the team. That's a good shot by Edward. He's put that, well, from the way we look at it, just right, but that's for him very much a scoring ball. So Felix has just played to the back of the court. I think Wendy will just come into a scoring position.
So the other games are starting to move on. So on court 4 we've got Duncan and Ellie versus Fleur and Greg from Australia. And looks like Australia's lost the toss on that one again. So someone must have put a Kiwi 20-cent piece in the box or something. It's,
yeah, well, if they use New Zealand money, maybe we don't notice that there's a tail on both sides.
And looks like court 3 with Pete and Judy, sorry, versus George and Dallas, and Australia's finally won a toss of the coin. So yeah, blue and black defending here. They ran a little bit long on the first hoop, but they're still battling that one.
Court 2 and 3, there's a little bit of a mound just short of the first hoop. So when you come across with your opening shot, if you don't get the pace right, it'll drift well past the hoop because it catches the downslope.
So you see where Edward was positioned then with his feet, and the ball was brought in a little bit because they have moved the courts a foot, and that last foot on the right hand side there is very soft. The proper court previous is very firm, and then it gets into quite soft grass, so all the players are taking relief and bringing in at least a foot to get it back on that nice hard surface.
And having now criticised the courts, we must say they are in very good condition for the test. I think another couple of weeks and they would have been close to perfect.
Oh, yeah, you always want them pristine because your country's on display, and this is meant to be the best in Australia. But you're probably biased there, being the Essendon man. But you always want to display the best, and they're probably 90% there, which is. But no complaints from the players. They've been straight enough for long enough to make some really good play.
That's a good shot from Wendy. She's come in there. She's pretty much on the line between black and the hoop, which is a good position to be in. I mean, I know she can be cleared by black, but it certainly prevents black from taking a shot at the hoop.
It's a nicer shot on goal, and I don't think Sonia's going to be taking too many boundary hoop attempts though. And Felix instructing just to come in close, and he's obviously very happy to do a kill shot on red. Yes.
Sonia's really solid over up to about 3 yards. She's rock solid, so I think they just try and get her into her comfort zone, and she doesn't miss. She's overplayed that one.
Terry's done the kiss again.
yes, that's only 3 inches out, but to the side, unfortunately. So she won't be scoring off that one.
In the first test, the Felix Sonia pairing was probably the pick of all of it. I mean, Edmund and Helen are obviously very strong, but Felix and Sonia worked together really well. They picked apart the Australian team, and it was just really simple play. Sonia got really good position. She took good position, and then Felix just clobbered.
Spread them away. Spread them out.
I think there was a comment afterwards. He goes, "Well, we don't really know how Sonia plays. All she did was put the ball in front, and Felix protected." And
a bit like watching Robert play AC. You don't know if he can run hoops or not because he never shoots them from more than about 6 inches out.
Yeah, that's right. So, but they worked very well together, and we expect a bit more of the same today. But Sonia's also been very long games. Some of their doubles going last games of the day, and her singles went very late. It was actually abandoned. Well, not abandoned. The players didn't need to play it because Australia already won the test, so they didn't see it worthwhile playing out the game for no point. Because in this test match, it doesn't matter about hoops and games.
That's right.
It's all about matches. So once the match is won, the test match is won, the players were both happy to sign off at 5:36 last night.
One all was a good result. But, I'd expect that Felix will attack Edward quite strongly in this game. I think he'll probably even give Wendy a few shots just to attack Edward and try and make a statement. So Edward's got a chance here to either clear this black or jump over. He looks like he's clearing. No, tried for the jump, didn't quite get it. And he did that because red has got the block on blue. So Felix, I don't think, can run the hoop.
I think red ball is going.
Yeah, red will go, but oh no, maybe not.
Maybe he was trying to get the little in off there.
Yeah, and black. I think black's probably got 2 shots before it can make the hoop. I don't think it can make from there. So Wendy will probably have a go at a little jump here. It's about her distance for jumping.
Oh,
she might be just outside.
Edward took the shot, so why not let the partner do it? I mean, especially if you say if black can't actually run it.
Yeah.
The danger, of course, is you rattle the hoop and
Yeah.
black pops out in front.
But she's not jumping, so
No,
she
she's
might
not.
see it. She might be able to see it. Yep,
Oh,
she
no,
could
she's
too.
got it.
That's a beautiful
And
shot.
she's left black tucked in behind
yeah, that's a
the leg,
great
so
shot. So black's got no shot to the next hoop, which is a great. And Felix is offside, so
that's right. So he's gone more than halfway to the next one without doing
hitting anything.
hitting anything, yeah. So he'll go off to the side boundary now for his next shot. But that'll be great. Great start for the Australian pair there to come back, because obviously a lot of nerves, very tight. This is a deciding test.
Yeah.
But still a day and a half to play. She's done that pretty well. She's putted it a little bit short, just to.
That's a great outcome.
But it's got a shot on goal and it can protect the front. Mainly because if you got it any harder, she'd be quite wide.
Yeah.
And
she's going to have to play defence.
yeah, a lot of the Kiwi. I mean, you see different styles and different players doing different things. It hasn't really been a feature of the Kiwi play, sort of going to the side and defending the front, which you do see from other nations when they haven't got a position ball in play. But it gives her the option of the hoop if they need. So I think they'll be happy with black.
Yep. So Robert and Ali have gone down 0-2, so they're trailing 2-0, not 0-2.
And
so Sonia's lining this up.
what do you think? Is it yellow or is it
Yellow?
hoop or
She's yellow. She's pretty solid from that distance for the Croquets. And I don't say that as a kiss of death. It has been an observation that over that distance he's been pretty solid across the weekend. She put it away from the hoop anyway. But I think Edward will clear the blue to the far end and let the red run it.
He doesn't have a hoop running shot there, so we will keep checking back in on court one, because I think that's the two nations' #1 pairings battling it out, and be interesting. This is the first time that Robert and Edmund are going to butt heads, and they'll be. I think Robert's got Edmund all the way through the tournament now, because this afternoon's match, which might be on court 2, might be the show one, will be the gender doubles. So it'll be Edmund and Felix versus Greg and Robert.
Oh, that's a great shot. That is a great shot. So Felix has ignored the ball. He's gone straight for the hoop from the other end of the court and run it straight through without touching the side. So that's just a measure of the class of him as a player.
Making a statement.
Yeah, he is clearly one of the best in the world.
Captain shot.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a great shot. So sometimes if you feel like you're completely out of play and knocking one of the opponent's balls away is not going to really do you a lot of good, because they're just going to keep coming back and you're going to lose it. If you've got to look at the hoop, well, sometimes no matter where you are, you take it. So that was, I think, Felix's thinking there, and he took it and it paid off.
So currently 2-2 New Zealand, Australia.
Also, I think some people are shooters and some people are not, and Felix is clearly a shooter, so he looks to score whenever he can.
No, they're a lot of confidence.
That's a lovely shot.
They're still backing themselves after 3 days, and they're.
So Sonia's put her ball right in between Wendy's ball and the hoop, so beautiful block.
So it looks like we could have the first hoop for Australia on court 1. Helen has just pushed Alison into the jaws of hoop 3. Felix
nice
again
clearance.
with a clearance. So Felix is pretty standard play there for hoop 5. Put a ball in, which Sonia's done perfectly, and then Felix clears. So I think we'll be seeing a lot of that today, and if the Aussies can reply, or maybe the yellow ball should have removed the black. If you know that that's a shooter, because it is a fairly short distance there for Felix.
So the longest shot you'll get there is probably around 11 or 12 yards. So
it's a nice connection, just a little bit to the right. So
just off. So Wendy's been rotating beautifully across the 3 days, and that's her first swing at one though for the day. So New Zealand have done well here to reverse the order of scoring, so they've now got 2 in a row, which coming up the middle is a very important thing. If you can make 5, you're generally a good chance to make 6 as well. So they'd be very pleased that they've turned this over. She hit that a little bit too hard into the leg, so it's sprayed it out. She would have liked to have run that just past the peg.
Yeah, it still scores the hoop and got a lot of protection in front of so New Zealand 3-2. And,
so Edward will just lay up short. No, he's gone quite aggressively down. He's gone past.
He's almost got the wire position there as well, so it's ended up being
a good shot. And so that his options were to go short just past the peg, so give Sonia a very long clear, the longest clearance he could, while still being in a shooting position, or go up and snuggle up to the hoop and hopefully get a wire, which he's done. So
this is forcing Felix for the shot now.
Yep. Felix has to hit the yellow.
So yellow must have got the wire there on black.
He's missed that, so now Wendy can come down into a...
He had a bit of bad luck yesterday, Felix. He dug a few holes in the ground and penalised himself, but he started off strong with that hoop, and well, both hoops of the game for...
Well, it was it was wonderful to see the way that when he did hit the ground and create any damage, he didn't hesitate. He just called himself in most instances. He didn't even call the referee. He just called himself as a fault. And fantastic sportsmanship. Fantastic.
They're all excellent players. They've got talent. They don't need tricks.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, they don't need any favours when you're this good. So Sonia's lining up. I think she might have a little bit of yellow. She's taking a lot of time. She's quite deliberate. She takes quite a bit of time over her shots. I know she's just trying to snuggle up. No. I think she was trying to use the roll of the court and hopefully just missed the near leg.
The equaliser. He's still a bit angled, and that red's got in his way a little bit.
Yeah, it's in his stance. No problem with that one.
Yeah, so you see the hoop moved quite a bit there.
Yeah.
Just the ground is quite soft, so they've spent a lot of time getting the hoops right at the start of the day, but they had a lot of work constantly throughout the day to try and get them back nice and tight. It's just the ground and the weather and the moisture. It's
and the pace that they're getting hit by the balls.
Well, the pace, yeah, that's right. Because I mean, some players are hitting clean, but a lot of the players are still collecting a little bit of the leg on the way through. It's haven't quite hit the well, apart from the Robert Felix game yesterday, haven't quite hit the prime accuracy where they're just sailing through.
We did some slow motion videoing of while we were doing some refereeing work a few weeks ago, and that's super slow-mo. It's amazing how much the hoop actually flexes when it's hit hard. It really does flex quite a long way. So that continual flexing too loosens them up as well. It's a nice clearance.
Yeah, so scattered a little bit, but importantly he's removed the hoop shot. So
and another good one by.
Yeah, but he's got the scatter. He's not happy. He's
he would have liked to middle that.
Yeah,
you can see he backed off the pace just a little, trying not to go too far away. He would have liked to just stop around the hoop somewhere.
I mean, Sonia is still close for New Zealand to deal with red if it gets anything.
That's going to be a nice spot.
Yeah, so
good shot.
Open to Felix, but I think Felix will be asking Sonia to perhaps move it now.
So Wendy has pulled up short of the hoop. That's on purpose, so it just gives Sonia an extra half a yard in the Roki. So, you know, with that extra half a yard, a ball that might hit, if it was half a yard closer, may just miss with that little bit of extra distance.
So she looks like she's lining up for the Roki.
I'd say so.
So back on court one, Australia's tied it up. So Robert scored hoop 4 to make it 2-2 now on court one. So Robert and Allison versus Edmund and Helen.
And Craig and Fleur's game's moving along quickly. They're already caught up to hoop 4, and
they were the last game on.
they last started, and they play quickly.
That's Fleur and Greg. They're always last.
Yeah, that's right.
Last to arrive. So they're doing well. Just maintain your routine. And
Sonia's missed that. So.
so it gives Edward a chance to double up and get into a prime hoop running position.
Yeah, because for that distance, Felix is still a high probability of hitting.
And he's probably pushed that a bit.
Yeah, it's still in a scoring position, but he's pushed it past the hoop, and
It's a good angle.
yeah, to our right of the hoop as we look at it.
Well, it's a better angle than Wendy's, but
Yeah.
he's gone. Oh, he's going to hit
Oh,
not the red and not the yellow. He's
straight through the middle.
It did seem to. I wouldn't have thought it was the court, but it did start moving left to right there a little bit. But he was quite a way off the red, which was his primary target.
So Wendy and Edward have just had a chat about what she's going to do. I think it might have been a discussion about whether she's going to draw it or run it.
Yeah, it's. I think from that angle and distance, she's not going to get it down that far. So jawsing here is quite strong, especially with black on the boundary.
Yep. It's gone to jaws. Oh no, it's gone through.
Yeah, so you can see she's
still
made a face because it did actually go through. She wanted to keep it stuck in there. And
it's a better mistake to make though than having a kick off the leg.
That's right. Well, it's
at least it's
a run on the board. It's there's 2 hoops in a row. It's good. You want to get a run of hoops and keep the momentum going. And Sonia's gone quite
well
wide.
past that. So she's now 6.5 yards from the hoop.
That is.
That's a long way off. So that's that downslope a little bit too. I mean, it was going to go well past, but the downslope will take it and not allow it to slow up. So the shot, if it were to a different hoop, would probably be halfway between the hoop and the boundary, but this one now is on the boundary. So that's a good shot from Edward, and then a nice response by Felix.
And it might just be the feel on that side boundary, like I was saying before. It's soft underfoot.
That's true too.
The ball's up. Maybe she just
feels like she's hitting out of thick grass, so she has to give it a little bit more.
So yeah, Wendy a little bit hampered. It's just going to have to come out.
It's a good example too to people that she's just taking her medicine there instead of trying to do something fancy with some special sort of self-invented shot. She just hit it out into the open court and just take your medicine because you can't take the hoop off you.
And Edward's also probably told her go a little bit halfway. I've got this.
Yeah,
so they're probably.
He's got. Yes, he's certainly as he should be, nice and confident about this hoop running from anything up to 7 yards.
Yeah, well, Sonia's missed the last couple of sort of 7, 8 yarders, so maybe they're thinking.
Well, it's good to put some pressure on.
Prying on a mind, and fingers crossed there's another miss for them. But
also, if your opponent's missed a couple, it's good to give them another one, so that just to keep playing on it.
Looks pretty good off the stick.
Oh, she's hit that one.
She's got it, but it's
just. So Edward will probably just hit Felix to the deep boundary now, into A balk, and maintain his position in front of the hoop. Yeah, good shot. He's looking for a wire there, so he's split the balls trying to get a wire. He's tried to put the blue exactly wide across the hoop, but I don't think he got it.
No, he hasn't quite got there. He's very keen to pick the spot, but he's, if you look behind him, you see that it's still open.
And by the way, there's no problem with doing that, running down and making sure it's on the right spot, and everybody just accepts that as the right thing to do. So it's a good practice to get into. It was good watching Felix and Robert yesterday, the etiquette in the game, you know, of making sure the spots were right and, you know, and just asking one another to confirm that things were right. It's
and also
in a very good spirit.
With relief as well, like Robert quite often asked Felix to come over and
place the
check
ball.
that the relief was going in the line of the shot. He'd say the shot he was going to make, and then he'd get, which is not always done, but seemed to be what the boys had arranged between them, and they're quite often putting in, whereas on the first couple of days, a lot of people taking relief were just putting it square in from the sideline, which is incorrect. You've got to put it in the line of the shot you're going to have. So there were a few sneaky improvements on
opening up of wirings and things.
But that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, some people don't know. I mean, even at this level, they don't know the right way to do it, but it should always be done absolutely according to the rules.
So Sonia's struggled twice coming from that boundary to land in front of the hoop. So she's
it's probably the fastest shot on the court coming from that out of that rough across to this side on this court.
There. So Felix would have put himself in front before, hoping Sonia made position, which she was making in all their other doubles games quite comfortably. And
he's got to decide whether he thinks he's going to give Wendy this shot and come in and sort of try and put her off a little bit, which looks like he will do, or just clear her. I think he's just coming in now to try and either block. He's not got the block, so that's not really a disruptor. So just Wendy just needs to run this smoothly now.
So with the practice in the mornings, because the hoops have been quite difficult to maintain, it's just been smooth and short hoops in the morning. But there's a couple of courts set up on the side for heavy hitting and straighter hitting. And Wendy spent a bit of time out there this morning. A few of the other Australians as well, just getting their groove and tuning in, doing what they want to do in the game. So whereas a lot of the Kiwi New Zealanders, they were spending a lot of time just hitting roquets, getting their timing right. So it's interesting what different players do each day. So there's a 15-minute warm-up only, first match of the day, and then you get 5 minutes before your next match. So players use that however they wish.
I generally find that if you do a bit of hoop running, that actually gets you hitting straight anyway. So I think when you've got a limited time to warm up, I always think that hoop running is practicing both. You know, not only running the hoop, it's practicing hitting straight. So if you're running hoops, then you should be hitting rokies, but you still need to get a practice on looking at a ball and hitting a ball too. So
yeah, I like running hoops.
Yeah. So everyone's different. So there is no right or wrong, I guess is what we're trying to say. It's some people do like to feel of hitting another ball, and others,
just getting
such as
yourself tuned
myself,
up.
just like the feel of running through the big sticks. So Wendy hasn't gone into a block position there. She's gone out wide.
Yeah, so Sonia didn't position there earlier. She was trying to pump the blue ball up into a better position wide from Edward, but she missed it slightly, but it has left her with a hoop shot still. So the Fleur and Greg versus Duncan and Ellie game is going along rapidly because New Zealand looks like they're 3-1 up and in a bit of control at hoop 5, so they're motoring along up there. And Ellie with a nice clearance.
She's playing very well, Ellie.
Yeah.
She's very well. She's 16 years old, Chris, is it?
17, I think. Yeah.
17. Yeah,
Final year of school, how would you say it? Final year of school, whatever that is.
So she's very young and she's playing beautifully. And over on court 3, Pete and Judy, it's 2-all against George and
Dallas.
Dallas.
Yeah, that should be an interesting game.
Yeah,
sort of
very evenly matched.
I mean, Dallas and Judy finished off the singles last night, and that was a very even. Judy getting there in 3 games in the end, but they were, very late in the day. So I think they're
Finished
both
under
feeling
lights.
very tired this morning.
So yesterday, 10 hours play. So it's quite a grueling competition. So you can see Felix chasing that ball. There is a chance for a wire, so he just watches where it goes out, make sure it's placed in the right spot. And as I said earlier, there's nothing wrong with doing that. That's exactly what you should do. You have every right to make sure the ball's placed in the right spot, and it's also helpful because the other people are standing to the side of the the side of where the ball goes out, so don't actually see it as accurately as you when you're standing directly behind where the ball goes out. And he's not going to clear this.
No, I don't think Wendy had a... Well, you mean
She
a shot
was-
at clearance on blue, or...
I
I don't think she had a shot on black. Yeah, I don't
no.
think she had a shot on
So,
black.
so
So-
sorry, I had surprise in my voice there. That was
Mm.
because I thought she could see it, but clearly she couldn't see the black, or she would have cleared.
No, I think she was trying to get in the way.
Yeah.
So, no, it was... There was no shot on black,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
so Felix
And,
played a very nice clearance to get the
he got the
block.
wire. Yeah, that's why they were deliberating so much. So that ties it up. So 4-all. So
Very good match, nice and tight.
a bit of interplay, but pretty much what
Yeah,
Sonia and Felix have been doing.
Yeah,
Sonia
absolutely.
does. Felix does the clearance, and
Yeah, the heavy
leaves
lifting,
Sonia
we
with the
might
easy
say.
thing.
The
No,
heavy
no,
lifting.
well, you still got to run the hoop when you're
Yeah.
there. So
It's a nice replay of Sonia's action.
yeah,
It's,
not a lot of movement on the hoop, so obviously
yeah.
got that nicely in the centre.
And you can see how still her body is when she swings. It's all from the shoulders and no body movement at all. So that's why she's so accurate. She's just asking the cameraman to move in the background there, so I hope the shot wasn't disturbed. He's,
I
Felix
don't
is,
think that bothers you. Look at his face. He's back in the
yeah, he's back into his position.
back into game mode straight away. So
Yeah.
he's
So Felix is going to shoot at yellow. He's asked the cameraman who was right behind the ball to move in case the blue flicks up.
and he just
Just
slides
missed
to the left, but the ball bobbling a little bit there. So
Often if you see the balls bobbling, which Chris said, which is sort of little bounces along the way, when they bobble, they can actually go offline because of that bouncing. So they can start to bounce a little from side to side.
yeah, and there's still a little bit of sand on the court, which can change the direction a little bit as well. So
Yeah, so over a short distance, that doesn't matter, but over a longer distance, as Felix just had, that slight deviation could be just enough for it to miss the ball.
and it was very close on yellow. So when he tries to get a block from black hitting yellow, she just drops it a little bit short. So black still has an open shot on yellow. Yeah. So she wasn't trying to make hoop position there. She was actually trying to stop
Yep.
Sonia's shot now to
So-
save the hoop.
Edward from there, he'll try and run that all the way to the other end, which is why it's important to give him that, to save him that shot, or protect him, I should say, to get that shot. It's a good shot there of Sonia lining up. You can see her casting is pretty much online and very consistent. So a little bit of kick in her mallet there, and that means she slices across the face a little bit.
Not very far off hitting anyway.
And then, as we said earlier,
And,
if she were shooting at a ball that was 3 or 4 yards away, she would have probably hit, but that extra distance is just enough for the deviation to become a miss.
So Edward gets the angled hoop. You saw there was a lot of hoop movement when it went through then, so which has taken all the speed off it, so he didn't manage to get it up and through as much as he wanted, but more important to take the lead there. So 5-4 now to Australia. Bank the point while you've got it. So.
Exactly. So what he's trying to do is just flick the far leg on those ones so that the yellow ball doesn't get the energy taken out of it, and it would roll all the way to the other end. But because he took so much leg, all the energy dissipates from the ball into the hoop itself, and the yellow ball only just pops through.
He'll enjoy this shot. This is this is a shot he wants. So they're doing what New Zealand did the other day. So Wendy's got position, and the yellow ball firing through on the blue to try and protect it. You would have heard a few of the comments from Rachel and the G's yesterday about how they really like the order of the players are very even, but sometimes in the mixed doubles there are some gender shots, and she really liked the idea of when the male was yellow, so you get to do that when you lose the toss, manipulate the order, so you get to play before the other male player, and she really liked it when the yellow scored the hoop, because then the yellow then had the clearance on the blue, which was ideally the other male player. So trying to enact the plan there, but didn't quite execute. But these best of 3 matches, it might play out a bit more as the day goes on. That you'll see a lot more of Edward hitting Felix and Felix being left with the long shot.
So we're tied up again at 5-all. And that's a nice shot by Wendy. Very nice.
Yep, so
again, Felix asks Sonia to come in to the scoring position, and then he'll line up the red.
So it's been working for them. So
yeah, and he feels that Edward's ball is far enough away from his that Edward can't effectively block. Because if the yellow was closer to the blue, he may ask Sonia to move the red, because he'd be worried that Edward would be able to block him very easily.
and she's just running a little bit long.
Yeah, it's still.
Again, so
I think it's a runner though, still in it.
it's a bit hard from this angle, but it's
Certainly jaws-able.
yeah.
And you don't want him to jaws 11, that's for sure. So Edward's coming into the block position. He's trying for it. It's just gone too far and blocked the red, unfortunately. But that's not a bad thing, because if Felix doesn't hit the red can clear the black. And Wendy, of course, is a beautiful Rokia, so she'd have no problem getting that black to the boundary.
I reckon we'd almost get that 1-footer as well.
I'd probably miss it, but anyway.
Might be a scatter shot.
I might actually try and jump over the yellow for the hoop.
Shoot a Hopkins here.
No, I think most of us could get that black to the border. But I think Wendy would probably go for a bit of angle, or either trying to skim off it, skim her ball down to 12.
But Felix is going to deny opportunity, I think, with this shot. And
yep, beautiful.
Smash red. That's a great
so
roke
now Wendy's got to make a very long Rokie coming back up.
Well, I guess it depends on the discussion. If black can only jaws, it's probably not going to go on the jaws. It's going to take.
Yeah, it's going to take yellow out.
So it could be worthwhile doubling up with red, just getting another runner in.
Yeah, actually, I don't. Well, I suppose they can see it because they're out on the court, but I didn't see them have any discussion about that. So I assume she's just going to come back in.
We'll see what Wendy does, and that'll decide how good black is. So if she goes for the shot on black, then
black's
black's a runner, and if she doubles up, it's probably just the jawsing shot. So.
I think she's playing for position. Yep, she's playing for position. She didn't take a normal
just
sort of
with good weight, good weight. That's
a good shot.
Runner.
Good shot.
So now the decision is, do we take the? You can see from that angle it's not looking good for a runner. So that's the right decision there by red. Nice stun shot there from Sonia.
That's a very good shot.
We'll see the.
And now it comes down to whether Felix can really hit that red, basically.
Well, it's both the boys. So whether Edward goes for another placement, or whether
he's got a place here. He trusts Wendy to hit those half-court Rokies as well, as he should. I mean, she's a class Rokie. Oh, should say clearance, shouldn't I?
It's all croquet, Terry.
It's a bit like when I say hoop 7 when I'm playing AC. They don't like it.
Yeah,
that's a nice shot.
Felix has done it again.
He's got the double clearance.
Half-court shot, so.
It was fantastic yesterday watching Felix and Robert play. The consistency in those half-court hits, it was just incredible.
I think the positivity of some of the hoop shooting as well.
Yes.
There was consequence for failure.
Yes.
And just nailing the consequent shots. And it seemed to be that they missed all the ones that didn't really have any consequence. The ones that were maybe there was a mentality of, I've got a free shot mentality.
That does happen too. I can loosen up for this swing.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter. But I saw Felix club at hoop 9 about 3 times, I think.
Yeah.
But when it really mattered, they were sailing past balls and through hoops.
Well, Robert ran one from the 7-yard line on 13 in the first game
which could have
take it out. So
could have totally changed the test.
Yeah, absolutely. If he had missed, I'm sure Felix would have drilled his.
That's champion move or execution.
And you often see it. I mean, Reg did it the game 1 in the World Championships. That's Reg Bamford, sorry. He won his first game with a 7-yard hoop run at on the 13th, and it sort of gave him an advantage that he then carried through the entire match. Oh, that's a lovely hoop. She's run straight through that.
And yeah, so they've managed to overturn it there and get the lead for New Zealand, now 6-5 up. Mainly through Felix's good shooting there, half-court shots.
Yeah, that's what made the difference.
Australia didn't have any shots, they just kept placing and kept getting hit, so maybe a...
that's a good approach though.
Yeah,
that's a nice response. The thing is though, you always want to be first to the 6 because if it goes to 13 you've got a huge advantage, probably more than any other hoop. The advantage of being first to 13 is accentuated.
Right.
Unless of course you hit it into the back of the hoop and don't get into a hoop running position.
Well, I'll let you call that for New Zealand, Terry. Put the kiss of death.
I just say he never misses these.
No, that's right.
So Felix has just gone past the hoop and into a non-hoop running position. He's sort of side onto the hoop and about 3 feet left.
He's reversed it there because he's taking position and allowing Sonia with the Roko through. So she's going to have a good 10 to 12 yarder. Wendy's hit that a bit hard.
She's hit that too hard. She's overcooked it. So she'll be... Oh no, she's still got a... She can probably still run that.
She's...
Although she won't be sitting there because Blue will move it. So it's all up to now whether Sonia can hit this.